Well, good afternoon, Calvary family. Here we are, Thursday, June 4th, and it's time for our regular weekly update. This is our fourth week of doing an update. As many of you are probably aware, last Friday, Governor Murphy made a statement as part of his weekly or his daily briefing that come the weekend of June 12th, houses of worship would be open for in-person services. I don't want to say the church is open because we never closed, but he did say we will be able to have in-person services, and I rejoice. I'm excited. I'm ready for it. I'm sure you are too. As of right now, Governor Murphy has not released the particular details of what that looks like, and so we're having to make a few assumptions of what we're going to have to do as a church in order to have in-person services. Last week I mentioned that we are already marking off seating sections within the sanctuary. We have 72 pews, so we can create 72 different sized seating spaces to accommodate social distancing in different sized groups of people. And so our smallest pew, which is the very front row, will be able to create a 3.5 foot section, which is about enough for two people, or one person that wants to spread out. And then as we move back, we create seating spaces that go all the way up to a little over 9 feet to accommodate larger groups and larger families. We are under the impression and the expectation that when we reopen or when we come back for in-person services the weekend of June 12th, so we're planning on having service June 14th here on campus in the building. We just can't give you 100% of specifics, and I wish I could. I hate to give an update that says you're going to have to wait and see for details, but that's really where we're at, is that we don't have the details other than to know that we've been approved to have services the weekend of June 12th. And I realize the 12th, we don't have Friday services. That's obviously for our Orthodox brothers and sisters. But it's for the weekend. We'll do it on Sunday, June 14th. And so let me tell you a little bit about what we know we are going to do as a church to prepare and accommodate this service, the service opportunity that we have for June 14th. We are going to have two services. We're going to have a 9 a.m. service and an 11 a.m. service because the capacity of our sanctuary is going to be greatly reduced. We are assuming right now that when Governor Murphy gives us approval, will probably be something similar to the state of California that has limited it to 25% of capacity or 100 people. And we recognize that in this season, not everyone is going to be ready to come back immediately. And so we're going to do a 9 a.m. and an 11 a.m. service, and we will maintain our live stream presence as we have during this whole COVID-19 situation, and as we have done previously. Rather than being at 10 a.m. on live stream like we normally have, it will be at 9 and 11. And so I will invite you to watch those online if you're not comfortable coming to service with us. During phase one of the reopening, we will not have any children's ministry just because of the restrictive guidelines that currently are in place and allowing us to be able to figure out how things function in this new season. I know one of the great concerns is whether masks will or will not be required. Right now, we don't have that guidance. The CDC's issuance of guidance for churches has said that masks should be worn upon entry and exit, but not necessarily worn while you are seated in your pew. And so that's what I am hoping Governor Murphy goes with as well, but we'll wait for specific guidance on that as things are defined. A service at 9, a service at 11. The 9 a.m. service, similar to ShopRite and other stores, we will designate that for those that are 65 or older that desire to come to that service, or those that are at risk with pre-existing condition but feel comfortable to come out. I want to give you this statement here. We've said it before, and I will continue to say it. If you are not yet comfortable to come to service, please stay at home and worship with us online. If you are ready to come on campus, you are invited to join us at 9 or 11. And we will love to have you here. But we have grace for one another, and we accept that not everyone is at the same place in their personal feelings and or health conditions regarding the COVID-19 circumstances. We will say, if you come to church, that doesn't make you more spiritual than those that stay and worship at home. And if you stay at home and worship there, that doesn't make you smarter than the ones that come to church. We will continue to have grace and mercy for one another and recognize that we're thankful for however we can worship together as a church body. Between the 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. service, we're going to keep service till 1 hour, so that'll give us a 1 hour window between services. All of the seating areas will be closed. We're not going to have any places for congregating. We're not going to have coffee and snacks, I'm sorry, but you can bring your own coffee if you'd like to have coffee as part of service. But because of restrictions and guidelines, we're certain that we won't be able to have those areas, and they have discouraged congregating in different areas. So the bathrooms obviously will still be open, and we will continue to sanitize those throughout the morning. And then between the 9 a.m. and the 11 a.m. service, we will sanitize the sanctuary and high-touch places such as doors and restrooms so that the next service has a fresh experience to come. Now, I also want to say, if you have been exposed to anybody with COVID-19 in the last 14 days, if you have any flu-like or COVID-19-like symptoms, or if you are sick, please stay home. We want to continue to honor and respect the health of other people. And so if you have those conditions, please stay and worship with us online. We will continue to have hand sanitizing stations throughout campus for parents with young children. We will have activity bags that go along with the morning lesson that Pastor Joe will continue to post online. And so they'll be able to have something to do while they're here. Children are always welcome in our sanctuary. Bennett's going to be here because both his parents are going to be here. And so continue, your parents, your children are welcome to join you here, or join us here on campus. Really, we would recommend probably the 11 o'clock service, but again, we're going to be flexible. We're going to roll with this, and we're going to continue to update information as we have more information available. And so, one of the best things that you can do for us in this time, because it's an ever-evolving situation and things are continuing to move forward, and we recognize that June 14th is not that far away. Really, it's just 10 days away, and there's certain elements of guidance that we don't have yet. And so, if you would, over the next several days, would you please continue to go to the church's website, calvarylighthouse.org/COVID-19 for updates on in-person services. We are considering, and actually we're going to be establishing early next week, a reservation system that just is to allow us to understand how many people intend to attend a service. You don't have to register to come. You don't have to provide an RSVP to come, but it helps us to adequately plan and prepare. It will let us know whether we potentially need to add a third service to accommodate the people that have said we want to come and worship in person. It'll help us to gauge expectations and better prepare to serve the needs of our people. We know that this is an ever-evolving situation, and we know that this is constantly changing, and it requires great flexibility on the part of everybody. And so I want to thank you for continuing to help us in this process. We will send out an email early next week with the RSVP or reservation system, just so you can let us know which service you intend on coming to. And any other details as we get them, we will update the website and let you know how we're proceeding forward. But come June 14th, we will have two services, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And you are invited to join us, and I'm excited for the opportunity to worship together. Would you continue to pray for Governor Murphy and for his team to make wise decisions? Continue to pray for our church staff that has worked so very dedicatedly over the last 3 months. Continue to pray for our church family as we come together and celebrate. And I pray that as we move forward in a new season of the post-shutdown, lockdown season, that we would come together united and stronger than we ever have before. Thank you for your time. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you next week.